Hey everyone, welcome back to our game of Dragonlance. We are resuming after a bit of a break, and this will be our first session of the new year, so welcome back everybody. I'm excited to get this rolling again because we are on the cusp of some exciting revelations and changes. That being said, we are in the middle of catching up on just what we remembered doing about 3 weeks ago. And to answer those questions, we are currently lounging in the Salt Lick, a tavern that hangs over the precipice, this giant pit in the center of a town built into a cliffside called Heart's Hollow. A very colorful, isolated village that is sheltered because it is in a pit on the top of a giant plateau that is incredibly difficult to reach. The either officially or self-appointed mayor Nezra has been talking to our party and welcoming them after they brought two wayward citizens back from their individual trials and tribulations. One of these citizens, by the name of Rune, we rescued from a dungeon full of magic slinging toads, and who, in fact, was going to become one of them if not for the intervention of our party. And then the other is, I believe, is his name actually Clayton? No, it's Clistrin. I keep thinking his name is Clayton. The other is Clistrin, a scavenger and scout that lives in Heart's Hollow, who we found dangling upside down, twisted up in his own climbing gear, unable to rescue himself, and perhaps doomed to pass out from, having too much blood flowing into his head. But thankfully, our party happened along. We rescued him, and those are the two individuals that spoke to the well-meaning intentions of our party and warmed them to Nezra, who opened the doors of her city to them so that all of you can rest and relax and recuperate. Seeing how this little hidden sanctuary is located far in the northern reaches, way outside of society's normal grasp, this is a considerable boon to our adventurers because there are no friendly areas to rest and relax outside of Heart's Hollow that we're aware of. Um, Now, I do believe we were speaking of something else before I ran our intro. So I will welcome us all to the table once again and open it up to my players to ask any questions that might be lingering as to what the state of our party is and what motivations we're looking at.
Yeah, what was the conversation we had at the table before? Were we just being introduced to the mayor? Or was there detail to the conversation, or am I misremembering?
I think we were mostly being introduced. They were telling us a little about the city.
Yeah, I remember how like the roads are designed by people who are like born there. Like you get a part of the road or something like that. Like as it goes, it's like a tapestry of everybody who's lived in Hearts Hollow, if I recall.
Mm-hmm.
Something that, yeah.
Yeah, the main road that winds along the town, which is built into the cliffside of this pit, is all of these colored stones, which are placed by an individual who has either visited and ingratiated themselves to the town, or a resident who has lived there and
Right.
since passed on.
So yeah, I guess if we weren't having any meaningful conversation outside of just being introduced, I mean, yeah, I think. Or did we go to sleep? I can't remember what our last action was. If we retired for
Our
the
last
night.
action was
Believe
being
so.
the mayor left us and we're at a table.
Left us and we're at a table
Yeah,
by ourselves.
I think we were given lodging for the night, and then
we're given lodging. Okay, so that did happen.
I think so. And then the guy that we escorted back said that he'd go like get the money and pay us at some point if we were staying here for the next couple of days. I believe you had offered healing services to
I
everybody.
did. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
There was some sick. I wanted to, because I just knew there was like a direction that I was like, that's something I'm supposed to be doing here.
Yeah,
That's why I had that lingering thought in my head. Like, do I have a quest? Is there something going on? Yes,
Yeah,
there was some sick people, and I was just gonna help some sick people. That was okay. Thank you.
And I believe we had offered like Roan to not pay us like the full amount. My main concern for personally was the being able to purchase a spell component that I need at some point. And I think he had said he might just cover that bill, type of a thing, but I don't remember exactly the word there.
The unrelated, the intro made me think that we are in a giant funnel spider den, and we're all gonna die from the illusion, from the magic spiders.
What a twist.
an illusion! Holy crap!
I think Brixus had also agreed to get them notes about the dragon army.
That's
So just
right.
everything we had encountered.
Because if a dragon
it was-
flies over it, yeah.
Yeah, if they see the city, then there might be trouble for them, and giving them as much as we can to fight back against them.
Right.
I think in general the vibe was like, these are people that don't leave, and try not to let anyone know that this place even exists.
Mhm.
So like we were sworn to like not say anything about this place when we leave. I think there was a little bit of like nervousness by the mayor around us like being okay with that / doing that in general.
I remember the nervousness. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think they're used to. I mean, they probably get travelers sometimes, but
Yeah, but my impression is that if they get travelers, they tend to stay.
yeah.
So,
Right.
I definitely have some
You can check
internal
out
concerns
anytime you
about
like,
some of this,
but you can never leave.
Yep.
Now, some other major plot points that I would like to remind our group of is that Dalamar did, in fact, help us discover the location where the Tower of Wackenrath fell from.
Right.
We know its general area, and that was one of the reasons why we were heading in this direction. Though he did ask for some help with sussing out a strange magical signal he was getting on the ley lines that he couldn't quite figure out what it was. He is heading there currently.
Right.
And we were going to help him explore it and come to whatever resolution that might be. And I believe we have that marked on the map, but I can remind you where it is.
There's two markings. One would be, one, because the last time I was looking at it, there was one that was Wackenrath, and one is the ley line problem, right?
I presume I need to open up that map myself.
And I do have a question once you get that.
It's taking a hot minute.
No, you're fine.
Ah, yes. Yep, that mark, the one to the northeast, is where Dalamar is currently heading.
That's what I thought. Because there was two marks at the
Yeah.
top, one to the east, one to the west. The west is where the Tower of Wackenrath fell. My question is, and I might have just lost this as a player, what is the importance of the fallen Tower of Wackenrath? I know that we have found pieces of this place before, I'm pretty sure. But is this connected to Laurensaw?
We don't actually know that precisely.
Okay. Do we know?
Our
is it
best
just?
lead is to go there.
Why is it a lead? I guess it was just because it's a magical, like it's an ancient ruin, and maybe there's something there. Okay,
We're looking for a thing called the City of Lost Names.
that I know that. I know that. I just didn't know
Yeah.
if it was connected to the City of Lost Names or if it's our best hope at finding a connection.
Yeah, I think going there to figure that out, it was our best thing.
Okay.
But we also, from the people, from the mayor and stuff, telling us, we know that the Red Dragon army is going from that camp to the northeast, up to that area as well, like flying.
So they might also be wanting to
their
look around.
wyverns around there,
at
so
that
that
tower.
Yep. So
Interesting.
we'll probably see them around there.
Okay.
That was another kind of side quest that we had, was going to that camp and seeing if we could free the spiritual person for the sea elves.
What if this army is also looking for Soph? I'm like, maybe is he like a free agent? I don't know.
I don't think we know his affiliations at all. He came in as a
Yeah, because
guy
he's not
controlling
tied to the
undead.
Dragon Army at all, right?
not that we know of.
I guess for a while I was thinking like he would team up with them, but maybe we're both after this guy and what he's got. Whatever he took, because he took something, right? He took because he left with something
it was
from
the big
from
like
the city.
fireball thing or something
Yeah.
that is some kind of ancient weapon.
Yeah, he took an ancient weapon. What if they're looking for it too? That would be bad. We can't let that happen.
Yeah.
Fuck. Delamar with his side quest
Yeah,
shit.
It's not good.
I feel like I want to go for Rackenrath first to like. I feel like we're gonna fall behind in the race. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
You certainly don't have to help him.
No, we don't.
Your dealings with him are resolved, right? You did what he asked you to do,
With
and he
Delamar,
gave
yeah.
you your reward. Furthermore, there was another loose thread hanging out that our party has can choose to tug on, and that's that we know a group of prisoners have been taken to a camp called Camp
Wow.
Carrion Clay. That we know the priestess of the sea elves is being held there supposedly,
I remember
and
that.
that we had
and
been
other
asked
people
to
from here,
save
too.
her.
Other
Yes,
people
we
from
also
Yeah.
know because Clayton is suspicious that people have been disappearing, and that's because they've been captured by
Right.
the Red Dragon army and taken to this mysterious camp.
I remember that was another thing we wanted to engage in, because that was kind of the two. We got two things. One from Rune, and then because we rescued two people from that thing, it was Rune and somebody else, and that other person wanted us to go to that camp.
Yes, it was another one of the Demonesti Sea Elves.
Mhm.
She said that she had seen people there,
Right.
her own people.
We chose to follow Rune first, and then we were going to go help the people as well. I only hope that doing side quests doesn't tick up a secret clock of main quests.
Oh yeah, let's not.
I mean, I don't know if that's true, but I also don't want to miss out on side quests because that all seems like cool stuff.
I'm
Side
sorry.
quest is most important quest.
Every side quest you do makes the main quest harder.
Sorry, Soren Toth he's already there. He got to take. So yeah, he got
I'm
to,
like more worried about the Dragon Army getting to him first now at this point. Now I got it stuck in my head that we're racing towards the same MacGuffin that
Or
this
is
third
he the
party
Dragon
has. Or is he with the Dragon Army? I don't even know.
I get the impression he's with the Dragon Army.
We haven't gotten anything that said that yet, though. Because I thought that too at first. But like Jacob said, we have no information confirming that he is with anybody.
We do have one bit of information that he's with people, which is he showed up at the same time.
That's
Correlation does not mean causation.
it. But they were
It
around there
does-
at the same time. Yeah, that's true.
It's,
That's what, because I know that initially I got the feeling they were together. I think you're right. That was that they showed up at the same time, but they might not be same team. All of that and fancier roleplay at the table as we discuss as a party more of the things that are going on, but all in character and way cooler.
And I suppose the final reminder is, while all of this is happening, we know that the Kalamani army is currently camped out of Record's Edge and is waiting to hear back from our group as to where to march.
Oh yeah.
Because we were serving as forward scouts to inform the army exactly where they needed to head to confront and track down Lawrence off.
Yeah, we don't have the information so far. We're pretty bad scouts.
Oh, we should ask
mean,
tomorrow about portals.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
if they know any
yeah.
portals, we can jump back really quickly.
Right.
Yep. Because that's definitely one of the big things that I was looking for. If we can find a portal either near here or near the actual location,
Right. We were gonna
then
ask
can just
around
get
here.
the army straight there. Yeah.
So
I'm
that
gonna
was
ask some locals if they've seen
Ask.
any portal frames.
cool.
Okay. I feel a little bit more up to date.
Same.
Oh,
Same.
The other thing we do have that would make it more likely that he is working with the dragon army is we have run into 0 undead, but a lot of dragon people.
Mm-hmm.
Also true.
Well,
Time of
that
day.
being said,
Sorry.
our players were planning to sleep at the inn and then proceed the next day with whatever tasks. I could say we could do that, have everybody sleep, get the long rest rolling through, and then we can decide what our first steps in the new session will be.
Yeah, I think
did
after our.
have-
Go ahead.
I did have a clandestine activity that I'd like to do in the middle of the night.
Okay.
So Frixis will stay up for a while trying to write down all the notes for the Red Dragon Army thing, like everything they know about Red Dragon Army tactics, and like if you kill the dragon, then all the regular guys get weaker, and then each color that we've encountered, what they blow up into, and their abilities. So he'll write all that out, and then try to sneak out of their room a little bit, sneak out more from the party actually than the locals. He doesn't mind if they see him. He's going to go to Lavender's, which is the mage tower in the city.
That's right. There was a mage tower.
All right. So
You're sneaking out without us?
Yes.
Okay.
give me a stealth check.
Yes. If I can remember how to. There we go. Okay, I'm clicking the wrong thing. So there we go. I don't know why it did 2. Oh, because of armor. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care.
All right. So you're able to leave the Salt Lick and wander through the streets of Heart's Hollow after nightfall, and you are able to eventually suss out the Wizard's Tower because it very much looks like what you would imagine a Wizard's Tower would be. It is perched at the end of a wooden walkway and in a manner that it is just directly above the giant pit. Now, because it is in the middle of the night, you can see that all of the lights are off and presumably no one is home.
He'll go up to the door and try to knock a few times. Knowing that it's late, he'll wait for a little while at least until, to give them enough time to, if they heard it, prepare themselves and come out type of.
Okay. So 5 to 10 minutes will pass and you don't hear anything stirring inside.
He'll try to knock louder one more time. And if another 5 to 10 minutes goes past, he will give up for now.
Okay. So another loud rapping at the door, and you will be met with further silence. It does not appear that anyone is aware of your knocking.
Then he will make his way back to his room.
Okay. So you will make your way back into your room without any interruptions. Was there anything anyone else would like to do before daytime rolls around?
No, Josephine is sleeping. For sure.
Yeah, Thrag's asleep.
All right. Then, in that case, morning does roll around. You wake up just from being rested, but since the city is so well buried inside of a giant pit on top of a plateau, light actually won't be reaching the town until well into midday. You can see the slightest sliver of golden light slicing across the top of the plateau and illuminating part of the wall. But it will be hours before any of that light reaches the streets. That being said, the town is waking up and going about their morning routines. You can see countless lights flickering to life across the gap in various homes, both the wooden ones perched on the edge and the stone ones built into the walls. You can even smell breakfast being cooked up below.
Were the rooms... Did we decide if the rooms were up or below? In the Salt Lick, were they in lofts, or did we decide that they were like underneath? I can't remember.
I think we said lofts because there was like a hole through the floor in the main level
Right.
that you could look down into the pit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Josephine would step downstairs to engage in breakfast.
Yeah, and a warm and welcoming breakfast will greet all of our adventurers. It appears that for whatever reason, your accommodations have been seen to by another party, and you are not asked to pay for these. Now, after all of you have eaten your fill for the morning, what would we like to do? I know Josephine wanted to pursue some healing activities in town.
Would likely contact Nezra, because that's who I was speaking to about that initially.
Will do.
I think our plan was to stay a couple of days, if I remember correctly, but sure.
I think the plan was to stay here for the day so Josephine could do stuff and then stay the night and leave tomorrow.
Yes, there are sick people here, and I'm hoping that I can help them.
Oh, overnight I add Lesser Restoration to my list for the day, in case.
All right. Well, you won't have to wait too long before the city's mayor shows up to the Salt Lick. This is, after all, what the town considers to be her office for one reason or another. And she will greet all of you with a warm smile. I trust all of you have enjoyed your breakfast.
Yes, do we have you to thank for our accommodations?
No, I do believe you have Rune to thank for that.
Is Rune here?
No,
Oh,
Rune
he's
is not
not.
here.
I will have to thank him myself. It is, well, it's very kind of him.
Well, it did sound like the boy owed you at least something. I'm sure he'll be along with whatever else he plans to give you later. Now, Josephine, I do believe you wished for me to show you towards...
Yes, any who are sick or in need of healing. I am quite well versed in this category, and I do wish to be of use.
Well, we don't have anything such as a hospital for people to be warded up in, so it's going to be a bit of a trip around town.
Understood. I'm a patient woman. I can wait.
Well, it's more like we will be going house to house.
Of course.
But whenever you are ready, I'd be more than happy to show you around.
I am prepared right now. And she'll put her dishes into whatever dish tray area, and she readies herself. She's already got all of her garb. I don't think she's armored. I don't think she's putting all of her armor on. I think she's just in garb. She doesn't need all that.
Will do. Did
Travel
anybody want
around.
to accompany Josephine and Nezra as they head out around town, or do people want to go elsewhere?
I will accompany Josephine because Josephine offered healing services and I can assist.
Thank you so much for your assistance, Alafi. The mother does see you.
We try not to let that happen.
Well, I see you at least. And through me, the mother sees, and she just goes on.
I will see if I can make myself of use in other ways around town today.
Do keep a good mind to yourself. And Thrag, will you be joining Frixis, or...
I think I will join you, Frixus. I need to find a way to be useful around here.
It's like a plan.
Good. Don't want any of us wandering off alone. New place and all. Right, Nezra, take the lead.
All right, do try to keep up. I do work up to a pretty brisk pace.
You will find
And-
that my stride is quite long.
All right, so we will see Alafi, Josephine, and Nezra leave the Salt Lick and begin their tour around town.
Oh, not that long. Whoa, jeez. So fast.
Now, Frixus and Thrag, where were you planning to go? Or would you like to illustrate what you plan to do around town, and we could assign some skill checks if you wanted to, like, ply your trades or services?
I think you would start by actually looking for I guess talking to people, because that's kind of Frixus's thing, and just figuring out what needs to get done where he could actually help out. Like he could cast fly on somebody for 10 minutes at a time every hour, right? And help them, get something done that they normally couldn't get done without that kind of magic. Or Featherfall is the other one that could be useful, but those are about the only non-combat things that he has access to there. And then at some point during the day, he'll also want to go back to Lavender's while Alafi and Josephine are out still.
Okay. And Thrag, what does your time around town look like?
I guess he might just follow Frixus around to a certain extent, but I'm like... Yeah, I think he would just assist Frixus.
Okay.
This
It
would
wouldn't be
definitely play off. We also have Thrag is an extremely strong man. We could have some. If there's any need of manual moving of things.
As long as it's not too high.
Indeed.
All right. Well, over the course of the day, the two of you can make yourselves known to a few individuals who need help. You do spy that there is the occasional building being constructed or repairs being done, and magical aid and the aid of a particularly brawny barbarian are very useful to those ends. Although most you will accompany, or most you will meet during the day are initially rather suspicious. They don't turn away your aid, and you do get the feeling that perhaps they are already aware that you are in town and have heard of you before you even introduced yourselves. This being said, they are not hostile in any way, more just overly cautious to be open and, I guess, trusting. That being said, when your help is offered and services given, many do warm up to you, and you do find yourself feeling at least a little welcomed by the time you end your services for the day. Now, you said you wanted to try stopping by Lavender's, Phrixus?
Yes.
Okay. So by the time the sun is starting to actually touch the rooftops of the town, you will find yourself close enough to Lavender's tower that it just makes sense to stop by. And when you do, you see that it is open, and there is an aged man with a long beard behind a bar stuffed with herbs through a window that you can see. It appears Lavender is in.
Did Rune ever stop by to discuss the payment stuff in the morning?
As of yet, you have not seen Rune, no.
Okay. So in that case, he will approach the older man and say, "Hello, my name is Phrixus Ashcrest. It's a pleasure to meet you."
Now, the old man will startle for a moment as he's in the middle of mashing some green herbs in a pestle, and he'll turn a raised eyebrow to you and a side stink eye. He'll go, "Oh, yes, I've heard of you, sir. What brings you to my shop?"
I'm simply looking for some spell components.
I am a simple herbalist and alchemist, sir. If you are need of perhaps some plants or herbs that could suit your needs, you are welcome to look.
Can I tell if he's so suspicious and trying to throw me off of the other things he might have?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Okay. Oh my god.
Yeah, although he isn't as welcoming as the rest of the people of town, you are at least used to people not trusting you at first, so his behavior doesn't seem overly odd.
Okay, well, I'll take a look at what you've got. I think what I was looking for specifically would be perhaps a bit more on the rare side, and definitely not in an herbalist sort of way, but he'll browse the wares, not expecting to see anything that he would actually need from that. I'm gonna say, also, I apologize if I woke you in the night. I did stop by last night and knocked on your door.
Well, I don't think you must have been knocking on my door. I slept soundly through the night and nobody rapped upon it at any point. Was there something you needed to wake an old man for so early in the morning? He raises the other eyebrow as the previous dips.
He says, I just wanted to avoid a potentially awkward situation. I read on places.
Say that last bit again.
One more time.
Trying to avoid a potentially awkward situation. My read on this place was that It's very in the middle of nowhere. Those that are lost tend to find their way here, and I mean no trouble for those type of people. However, I know I traveled with a companion who, if you know anything about the mages at the tower, she chose a path down the black robes. Mine is down the red, and while I don't believe she would make trouble, I would rather avoid the putting her in a situation where she had to choose. So I wanted to come here alone.
Well, I certainly am unfamiliar with anything you might be speaking of. I'm just a simple alchemist.
Right. Well, I think the main thing I was looking for happened to be something I don't think you deal in. Undead eyeballs and gemstones. Not something I expect to find amongst the herbs here. Is there anything I can look out for you?
Well, I have no small amount of healing crystals and quartzes of various shades and salts, but no, undead eyeballs are not something I would be dabbling in.
That's
But if you see anything that interests you, you are more than welcome to purchase anything I have on display.
He'll look over. You said you have healing crystals. Are there any potions or healing anything for that?
Well, I certainly have several tinctures that are said to alleviate wounds and accelerate healing. Sadly, not enough to help those who have been so recently stricken, though we have given it our best. That being said, he pulls up a collection of beautiful, fine sapphire crystals that are at least partially translucent and have a cloud-like mist to them within the solid stone. He says, if you sleep with one of these every night, it's supposed to relieve stress. Very good for long-term healing and health.
Interesting. Are these from the city excavation here?
Well, there's not really any industrial scale excavation, but there have been several crystals that have been harvested from the walls deep within, or I guess down below. But nothing that would be magical or anything that would attract those types of people, of course. Just beautiful rocks that have healing properties, such as these.
I see. Well, I certainly don't intend to tell any of my magical friends about this place, so...
Well, if they need a potion or a tincture, perhaps I do have a fresh bundle of mint. Very good for tea.
If you happen to have that, I might take you up on that one. We do have a healer, and the friend I was speaking of earlier, she's a bit nature inclined, I would say. She's a centaur, actually. I might have them take a look at things. Strictly at the healing specific things. But I will take that mint, though.
Yes, absolutely. I can bag that up for you right now. I will say that anything you have decided to purchase today has already been covered. I was expecting to hear from one of your ilk, I could only assume you must be the man Rune told me of. So he wraps up a tight bundle of mint for you and hands it over to you. And asks for nothing.
He'll slide gold onto the table and say, "For the company," and then turn around and walk away.
I've been playing too much Lethal Company, because when you said that, I immediately was like thrown back into Lethal Company.
For the company.
For the company. We love the company.
Strange fellow, that one.
What was their name?
Lavender.
Yep.
Yeah, if I was a better black mage, I might have to do something there.
I'm just imagining him like a Disney character. I'm imagining him as, if you guys remember Aladdin, when Jafar is disguised as an old man and he's talking to Aladdin and he's just like, he's alchemy, but I'm imagining like as you're going by stuff, he's like, no, alchemy only, and he's like covering shelves.
Yep.
No magic here. Love it.
Tell me, Phrixus, we might have some free time. Perhaps, I don't know, we see the town blacksmith.
Ah, for sure. You've accompanied me on my errand.
Well, you remember the spear I found.
Yes.
Might be useless, but it's even more useless without a shaft. Might be a good idea to purchase one. See, that's what I will do.
Phrixus, as you are leaving this shop, I will just say that your time spent there and your knowledge of Arcana is enough to allow you to at least be suspicious of Lavender. Although you believe the things he said to be true and you find him convincing, you saw more than a few things in that shop that didn't quite add up to just a simple alchemist's home. There were various plants that didn't make sense that are used in reagents for spells, as well as a couple items that weren't well hidden enough that you could tell were magical, such as a couple wands and a stave. So you are fairly confident that not everything is as it seems at Lavender's.
I love Lavender so much. I'm so glad you rolled badly.
That was I mean, half of Phrixus's thing was assuming that was the case and like letting him know, like, yeah, we don't mean you any trouble, but also
Get away from my magical reagent. Oh, this is mine. I found it first.
So let's just avoid that whole situation if we can. And
It's
slipping enough information where he'd be able to know who it was to avoid.
It's also a situation that, like, Thrag doesn't know anything about magic, so he has nothing to be suspicious about.
Right.
Seems like a nervous old man.
Yep.
He probably thinks we were gonna rob his shop.
You do look very intimidating, Phrixus. You probably was just worried you were going to steal something.
I look intimidating.
You're taller than I am. Sure.
Size and everything. Look at that bulk you have. I have none of that. I rely on magics in order to keep me up in this armor.
Oh, please. Oh, it's quite strong enough. I'm sure he was trembling.
It wasn't my goal anyway.
Anyway,
I think
to
you
the
could
black.
You could take him.
I think you could have taken him. Phrixus. He's an old man.
Push him up there.
Don't want to make trouble.
Well, let's go make trouble at the blacksmith.
Or we just don't make trouble. But we go to the blacksmith.
Well, that was a joke, but agreed.
You know, sometimes I can't tell with you.
Neither can I.
I think now we will see our camera shift over to our other party members, and we will rejoin Josephine and Alafi as they are shown to the second of several homes they are to visit today. The first was a simple illness, a very common cold that got a little bit out of hand, but this one appears to be a more serious one that will require someone to actually apply their medicinal knowledge to succeed in. Whoever wants to lead this check, we will be making a medicine check.
I think we both have the same medicine skill check.
I think we probably do.
I think
Mine's
we have a similar wisdom.
7.
I think mine is also 7. Yes. So it doesn't matter. Would you like to roll?
I cast guidance.
Okay, you cast guidance, and then I'll roll. Okay. Am I rolling with advantage too?
Yeah, but no, we're working together, so.
It's true. Okay. Guidance is nice. I mean, I definitely need the guidance. 18. For sure. Thank you, Laffy. Your skill in... well, let's see how it worked out before I thank you.
So, what you will see as you step into the home with Nezra's guidance is a dwarven woman who has fallen deeply into a fever. Nezra described it as you were approaching the house as an unfortunate turn in what was a construction accident. Her arm had been rent by some heavy lifting machinery, and it tore the flesh clean off of her bone. Although it has been restored and healed traditionally, it appears that an infection has taken root and has been slowly draining Hilda of her constitution. And she hopes that the two of you will be able to figure out what infection is ravaging through her and then come up with a way to prevent it, or rather stop it. And with that 14, you have definitely identified the type of infection that is currently ravaging her. However, full-on curing it without magical aid is a little bit beyond you and the materials you currently have. If you want to spend a healing spell to actually heal it outright, you can. Otherwise, you will have succeeded in stabilizing her condition for further efforts.
I will expend magic to quell this fever and this infection if I can.
Okay. Yeah, if you have a restorative magic that you can cast, such
Lesser
as
restoration can target disease.
That'll do it.
Okay. I will burn a second level spell slot, and with Alafi's assistance, I imagine. Well, you help me identify it. So this is just my spell then. Then I'll just go to cast. Lesser restoration. Illuminated vines pour out from my hands, covering the wound and cleaning the infection from within.
All right, we will watch as that the flesh around her infection begins to clear and almost reverse as that damage is undone and the healthy glow of her natural skin returns. Her husband, who had been caring for her, falls to his knees and in shock and amazement. He clasps a hand over his mouth. He says, "I never once imagined I would see something like this. An actual gods above miracle."
Josephine will step forward and put a hand on the man's shoulder and say, "Miracle's light is carried with me, and I have given it to your wife. She will survive."
He'll reach out and clasp your arm and then push his brow into your arm and say, thank you so much. I was so afraid for her.
She'll just hold him. She'll console him. 100%. She has good bedside manner. She will console the man.
Yeah, you can feel as if a incredible weight just melted off of this man as quickly as your miracle took place. And before long, you can see Hilda's breath stabilizing into a deep and restful slumber, perhaps the first she's had in a week, though consciousness still evades her.
Okay.
Now, that being said, both of you already have inspiration, so Josephine, if you would like to hand your inspiration off to someone, you can now take an inspiration for being such an inspiring cleric.
Yes, I will hand an inspiration off to the next party member to make a roll. Does that work? And then I get a new one. Does the next roll we take has inspiration? Is that cool?
I don't know. I kind of want to see somebody else with a pretty little star.
With a pretty little star. Okay, I will roll a die. Evens and odds. Evens Frixus, odds Thrag, because it's good for either of you. Evens Frixus. Got a 2. So Frixus can take an inspo.
Excellent.
When leaving, because I'm sure after we have everything set up, we move on to other patients, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once we're outside, or maybe even just before, it doesn't really matter. She'll just turn to Alafi and say, "And you will, if another one is that bad, you will step in and assist me, yes?"
Yeah, of course.
Good. And she smiles and just says, "The Mother's light can be wielded through more than just me. I can see it in you." And she just a little cheeky smile towards you. "I'm excited to see you work your magic."
The bedside manner is significantly worse, though.
"I'm excited to see you improve it."
Well, thankfully, not. You won't find any cases quite as far along as Hilda's was, though more than a few people definitely will benefit greatly from your medicinal trade. And it will be long into the evening before Nezra finally steps out with all of you in tow of the last home that all of you plied your trade in. It does seem like a particular illness had been sweeping through Heart's Hollow, many people suffering from the same affliction, though perhaps the town has been spared from it spreading further, thanks to all of you.
Excellent. So it was like a particular. There was a common sickness going around.
Yes, there was.
If I will say to Nezra, I have heard of this lavender. They are your local wizard. Are they a healer of any kind? Are they who most people go to when they need help of any kind of magical or medicinal means?
Nezra will think a moment before answering. You can tell she's weighing something in her head before she says anything else. But she responds and says, "Although Lavender is a particularly skilled individual, medicinal knowledge is unfortunately not his forte."
Do you have any people who partake in that Alafi and I could perhaps give a little bit of information to, that if this sickness is to return, these fevers, they would be a little bit better armed to assist in our absence?
She will sigh and admit regretfully, "Unfortunately, we don't really have anyone as skilled as the two of you. Lavender is certainly as accomplished as he can be, but we don't really have a doctor or apothecary that could stand against such a thing. Not as effectively as you have shown."
That is unfortunate. Oh, oh no. That is unfortunate. At the very least, I will be mindful to hand off a recipe to him, if that would do anything. Perhaps people would know to go there.
That would certainly be more than welcome. As much as I would enjoy it, I'm sure you are off to other adventures, but if you ever wanted to settle down somewhere where you would be appreciated for such things, there could be a place for you here.
Your invitation and hospitality warms my heart. Yeah, she smiles because that's a tenet of mystical hospitality and compassion. So yeah, she's just very. I am very thankful that you were able to help us today. We can return to the Salt Lick on our own. I imagine you are quite busy.
Well, I do suppose I have some mayoral duties I've been setting aside. I'll have to make for the Salt Lick myself. But do enjoy the town while you're here. I know you might be heading out in the morning.
Of course.
And she will give both of you a gracious bow. From the deepest parts of my heart, thank you for helping my people.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
I truly hope that I can repay that debt someday.
No debt need be paid.
Well, then a gift, then. And she will smile and turn and dismiss herself as she makes her way back to the Salt Lick.
I'll turn to Alafi. That went much better than I thought it would. Thank you for offering your magics. Luckily, they weren't needed. These people were not as sick as I had worried they might be, being so far out here. But your skill and some of your magic in guiding me, I did notice that was quite helpful. I would not have been able to identify this sickness so easily without you.
I meant for that to be a skill check. Does a 14 in medicine give me the idea that being isolated might actually be helping them not be sick?
That's true. That is also true.
Yeah, you would know that being isolated definitely would prevent them from getting as sick as they could, but that would also tell you that strangers coming into town could actually cause a lot of sickness, such as 4 strangers.
2 out of the 4 of us at least got lesser restoed somewhat recently to get rid of tadpoles in our stomachs. So.
It's true.
I'm pretty healthy, personally.
That is a good question. Is getting a lesser restoration spell cast on you like being sterilized?
I'm guessing so. I mean, it wipes diseases and any negative conditions.
Just nukes all the bad bacteria all over your body, somehow saves the good.
It's like, drink this. It's called bleach.
Well, Alafi, my only thing on the list is to see Lavender and be sure that a recipe is written down for this cold that seemed to have spread. Was there anything that you needed to partake in? Do not feel as though you need to tether yourself to me.
There's not much I need to do in this town. I'm used to being out in the wilderness for long periods of time.
Yes, I find myself to be quite the traveler as well. Settling in one place for too long is just not been a part of my life. Well, if you are keen to follow me, I am heading to Lavender's. I imagine there might be something there of interest to you. He is apparently... I can't remember if somebody said he was a wizard or something. I don't know.
Not a healer, we know that much.
Well, we'll have to go and find out. It is a shop. There is shopping to be done. Well, I'll head that way.
To Lavender's, then.
We will see Alafi and Josephine make their way to Lavender's. Now, Frixus and Thrag, is there anything you wanted to be doing in the later half of the day?
I wanted to go... I remember I mentioned I wanted to go to the blacksmith.
Absolutely. So, visiting what you eventually find to be the town's blacksmith, you discover that blacksmith might be a bit of an overstepping of what these individuals are capable of. You go to the largest structure in town, known as simply known as the fort. It is a fortified stone structure built into the side of the cavern walls. It is rather commanding in its silhouette, with large arrow slit windows that look out over the city, and is quite clearly the most defensible place in the entire town. When you go into the fort as bidden by other citizens of the town as to where you can find the blacksmith, you discover that the forge they have set up inside is rather small in scale. What they have here, a simple forge with a few anvils and a wayward stack of coal in the corner, is really only capable of basic metal repair and shaping. They certainly aren't an armorer, and definitely not capable of weaponsmithing, but they could probably repair your horseshoes or make you a good set of nails. There's a dwarf here. He introduces himself as Carver Barrelwise, and he asks you, "What can I do for you, stranger? I heard from Ness that someone might be stopping by. Is there anything I can repair for you? Perhaps a bent clasp, or replace a button in a vest?" "Sir?"
Yes. Well, you see, the thing is, I'm looking for a shaft to replace my spear.
A shaft?
A
Like-
spear shaft, for a spear.
Like, sure. We certainly could arrange something like that. A wooden shaft would serve just fine.
Wood, or if you have anything else.
Well, how large would you need the shaft to be?
Judging by the length of the spear, like how long do you think it would have to be, Kyle? Like, could I roll?
Well, being that it is a spear, you are really only holding onto the broken end of a shaft. It is impossible to tell just how long it was once before. Though, given the connotation that it is a lance, you can guess that you need a lot more than what would be considered for a spear. You would need probably 8 to 10 feet worth of wood or steel. And that being said, this is also a magical weapon. It's kind of difficult to tape a magical spearhead onto a non-magical piece of metal.
So what you're saying is I would need to find a magical shaft.
You would probably need the talents of a capable wizard or enchanter who could actually enchant the new piece of metal or weave the enchantment from the head into the shaft itself. Otherwise,
Right.
you would be doing nothing more than simply attempting to fuse some metal onto a magical item, and that typically doesn't work too well.
No, I don't think it does.
And this is just me perhaps not being terribly knowledgeable with how magical items work, but because they can't be damaged or like rusted out or anything like that, that also works against them. I don't think they can be actually physically adjusted or manipulated.
In my mind, it was like, oh, the spearhead itself is the magical weapon. and the spear shaft is just meant to facilitate the, you know.
Although it is a broken haft, it was a lance at one point, so it's actually supposed to be just one whole piece, right?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So, not quite the same as like a simple iron spearhead on top of a wooden pole.
Well, actually, never mind. This is far more complicated than I ever gave it credit for.
And Carver scratches his head and says, "Well, that's fair. That does look to be a mighty wicked spearhead, though, God's forbid, it looks like it's seen better days. I would wager that you need like actual weaponsmith. I am a simple blacksmith."
Fair enough.
But if you need a rake,
Yes, if you need a rake, or perhaps your gear to be inspected, a solid clasp is not to be underestimated when traveling. The last thing you want is your backpack buckle breaking, and now you have to carry everything by hand.
You know what? I will use a clasp.
Well, I will see your gear inspected thoroughly, sir. It's the least I can do. So, whatever you wish to present to me, I will check and make sure your kit is in good order.
I'll show him my backpack.
Alright, yeah, you show him your backpack, and he says, see? Adventurers, they always overlook this sort of thing. He shows you one of the clasps on your backpack. He says, see, on the inside here, rust. This was going to break on you before too long.
Oh.
Probably in the middle of a struggle, the way you adventurers like to live your days.
How could I ever let this happen? This is
Just
not the
think
way of
how
my-
embarrassing it would be in the middle of a fight and your entire shoulder pad falls off.
I could never face my fellow knights again. Thank you, sir.
Oh, you are a knight, good sir. I had not realized.
Yes, a Solemnic knight, but in training. Not official yet.
Well, I'm sure you knights have pages and private blacksmiths that normally care for that sort of thing, so it's understandable that you would overlook such a simple thing. But it is easy enough to replace. In fact, he pulls out a spare clasp from a drawer that rattles with other similar shaped objects. I happen to have a clasp that could replace this easily enough. And he deftly takes your old rusted clasp and replaces it with a brand new one. There you go, sir. As good as new.
Oh, thank you. It's appreciated. Here, I give him 2 gold.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. That is far more than that's worth. How about I just give these back? He hands you the gold and he keeps one piece of gold and then gives you 9 silver and 5 copper pieces. That should be more accurate.
Oh, I was just trying to be generous.
Your generosity is appreciated, sir, but I've heard what you have done for the Hollow already. You need not be so generous.
Well, thank you. Phrixus, did you need anything? Perhaps some of your clasps checked.
Want me to check your clasps?
While we're here, why not?
All right. He inspects your gear as well. Give me a perception check.
Over 10.
All right. You see that he is very deft and agile with at least this part of his trade, and he replaces several linchpins and individual pieces of metal about your kit, and points out all the things he's doing as he does so. Yes, this was rusted here, this was weak here, this is just poor craftsmanship altogether. So, one after another, you see these individual pieces replaced with brand new, probably forged by his own hand, pieces of kit. And you see them demonstrated. He proudly shows off the clasps and the individual fasteners. They all seem solid and dependable. And he hands your kit back to you. There. Nothing will befall you of ilk from your gear, sir. I can promise you that.
I appreciate it. Always good to have the eye of a fine craftsman.
He gives you a warm and proud smile. And says, now, do enjoy the hollow while you're here. And if you have need of any more repairs or your companions wish to have a similar service, send them my way.
Ooh, appreciate it.
I can't believe we let our gear fall to this level. It's almost unacceptable.
Been some time since we've been back to Colima.
I suppose. Too much rust.
Well, at this point it is the later part of the evening, and your stomachs are encouraging you to find food. I think at this point we would probably see Phrixus and Thrag making their way back to the Salt Lick.
I think that would make sense, yeah.
Okay.
But what do you think, Phrixus?
Yeah.
All right.
Excellent.
All right. So we will see Phrixus and Thrag making their way down the winding path back to the Salt Lick. The camera panning across the yawning void that is the center of town, swinging over towards Lavender's, where we will see Alafi and Josephine approaching the door to the Very Much Alchemist's tower.
Laffy, I just got the strangest feeling that the clasps on my armor definitely need checking.
Alafi has the, I had the feeling that, in fact, the clasps in our armor are fine, and there's a grifter in town.
Oh,
These
God.
are some strange feelings that we're having. Let's ignore them for now.
I'm calling it right now that these clasps are gonna save our lives. Like there's gonna be an acid creature, and it's like, but your clasps made strong and impervious from this acid.
Your armor holds great. Your skin, not so much.
Your skin burns.
And so the adventurer melted away, all save for his brilliantly preserved clasps.
Which we found out later were magical.
Yes, magical clasps.
Magical clasps of acid resistance, it turned out.
Yeah, I'll try to catch this this lavender before his shop closes. I'm getting quite hungry. Let's make this meeting swift. Rap at the door or
Into
step in,
Lavender's.
however it works.
Yep, you can see through the window that there is an old man currently mashing some herbs in a mortar with his pestle. Yeah, you get it.
No, in a mortal. He is.
Sir, please! No, hold still!
Don't look!
Just need to get these herbs in here. But yeah, the door opens and you hear the delightful chime of a bell announcing your arrival. He looks up from his desk, and you see his eyes immediately shoot over to Alafi, and, well, you're perceptive enough to see that the color just drains out of it. And he immediately picks up another bundle of herbs and says, "Oh, yes, come right in. Look, I hear that some people were looking for mints."
Not us. I don't.
What?
Laffy,
One
were
of your
you?
friends- One of your friends was in here earlier, and he said you liked mint.
Mint? Who?
Uh, a man by the name of Frixus, I do believe.
Oh yeah.
I turned to Laffy. Did you ask Frixus to look for mint for you?
Oh, but it does make a lovely tea.
It does. It makes a delicious tea.
I do
He,
not
in
disagree.
fact, he bought some.
Ah, well, I am not in need of any mint. I cannot speak for my friend here, but I do have some information I'd like to partake to you, Mr. Lavender, sir.
Oh, his composure slowly returning. Yes. What would you wish to impart to me?
Oh, I am correct in saying, and mortar, pestle and mortar here, and what looks to be many alchemical things about. You are a herbalist of some kind, an alchemist. You dabble.
Yes, I dabble in various plants and plant-like appliances, as well as my trade as an alchemist and an herbalist.
Excellent. That is good news. That's what I want to hear. My compatriot and I have just finished doing the rounds in the town and getting a bit of a nasty cold from the individuals. You see, I'm a healer, and so is my friend likewise, and we gone around to be sure to rid this disease. But in our absence, since we are travelers, I would like to leave behind a recipe for a concoction, a soup of a kind that might be able to help individuals if this comes back. And I have taken the time to read another piece of paper. put it down from the medicine check rolls we made before.
Oh yeah, he
I'm
pulls a
glancing around the
monocle
shop
out.
while he does this.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yeah, he pulls out a monocle that he uses with one eye squinted shut as he looks over the paper. So, yes, indeed. There were quite a few people who had taken ill around town. And you had success with this mixture then?
Yes, I am a cleric of Mishakul, a healer. My name is Josephine. I'm well versed in both medicinal and magical healing. This, I believe, if you do hear rumors or have people asking about this sickness, this is a concoction that should help. Alafi and I have found great success with it.
Well, that's certainly wonderful news to hear. I will see to it that if anyone ever falls sick with those symptoms again, this will be the tincture we use.
Excellent. That warms my heart and is all I wanted to hear. Do you know of any places that clean clasps? I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, our blacksmith up at the fort. He's very good at replacing and cleaning clasps.
I just had a weird feeling on the way over here that... Never mind.
Well, it is important to keep one's kit in good repair.
Excellent.
Alafi,
Look
points to
around,
something
bro.
that
Where is Alafi?
looks obviously magical and go, ooh, this is shiny, and then continues on.
Yeah, and when she picks up the item, which definitely should have been more well hidden, and he sees that she has, you hear, Josephine, you'll hear almost the sound of the heaviest gulp anybody has ever had as the color drains from his face.
Lavender,
See if
are you okay?
I'm probably going to be taking some of this tincture for myself.
Yes, if you are feeling sick, I could help you.
No, I'm sure that this tincture will work just fine. Your friend is very curious.
I'll turn over. Oh, Laffy, have you found anything that you...
Is there anything I can help you with?
No, just some of the mint, I think.
Yeah, of course. I've got it bagged for you right here. He pats the parcel on the desk that had already been prepared. He's like, it's fresh cut today.
Pulling it towards the door. Here it is.
Yeah, it's as close to the door as the shelf will allow.
Yeah, and I take it and continue out the door, just like...
Thank you for your
I-
time, Lavender.
Thank you for visiting Lavender's
Oh.
Pots and Potions.
I juck my head back in. I'm like, oh, I forgot to pay, and I put some coins on the counter, and then continue on.
Thank you. And you'll hear the chime of the door shut, and the sign hanging in the window turn from open to closed.
Oh, very interesting man. Are you hungry, Olafi?
Oh yes, we should head back to the inn.
An excellent idea. My armor is
Also,
there.
that guy has a lot of magic in there.
Does he? Well, perhaps we will have to return in the morning when they are open and see what they have for sale. In the magical department. And we head to the Salt Lake, yeah.
Yep, you can almost hear the stressed hyperventilating as you leave.
It's too good.
And you will return to the Salt Lake just after Thrag and Phrixus make it there themselves. And you are all rejoined once again around a round table, steaming with fresh, hot food.
How was your day, looking towards Phrixus and Thrag? We've had a very productive time.
Let me tell you, these new clasps I got today, incredible.
Clasps? Show me.
They hold 3 times the weight.
You put the... Interesting. Very interesting.
Yes. Phrixus's clasps were in a sorry state. I can't believe you would dress like that.
You're going to have to take me to where you got that.
What the town has for a blacksmith, though, in all honesty, he's not much of one. He tries to help as much as he can.
Oh, I'm not sure what you mean. The craftsmanship there is quite... I mean, it says enough for itself. Seems like quite the blacksmith to me.
This is his skill set, minor objects such as these, not weapons or armor.
You never know with this town. There's a lot of things that are much more than they would seem.
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing important.
Oh. Are we just loose?
You pick up some mint tea.
Yes, I did.
Yes, we visited Lavender's. He said that you suggested mint tea to us.
Oh, I picked up some mint. That was all.
You knew that we would be arriving there. It's interesting. Your foresight ability, Phrixus, is quite keen.
I was suggesting, or I was going to suggest you stop by to take a look and see if there were any healing herbs or anything you needed while you were out and doing
A
things.
coincidence, then. You know, I hadn't thought I had expected much of my healer's kit during the day. I should return there tomorrow. And, Alafi, you wanted to ask him about magical items. We should go back tomorrow.
We should.
And I want to get my clasps checked. Look at, I mean, yours, I will be jealous if I don't.
The best part is I was wandering around town in probably like more common clothes today, but my armor is very much black.
Yep.
Did Rune pay for all this food again?
You were not charged for this food. It was merely delivered when you showed up.
His generosity, I think, is going a little too far. He doesn't need to pay for all of this. That's...
He offered us 1,000 gold for delivering him here, so...
That is an exorbitant amount.
I know. I don't intend for us to use up that amount in resources.
But if it's a choice between a few good meals and 1,000 gold pieces, I'll take the meals. Quite pleasantly.
Indeed.
Well, I'm glad we all seem to have quite productive days. I've done everything I feel as though I need to here. There's no reason for us to linger, unless there's something else we wish to do here in Heart's Hollow. We do have our missions at hand. Many things to be done. Should we leave tomorrow?
Yeah. I believe one more night here be fine, and then get back on the road.
Yes. Get our gear spick and span, and back out into the wastes. I will enjoy my feathered bed.
That is probably the thing that I miss the most while we're on the road.
I'm inclined to agree. Hard rock and a bedroll really don't make the cut.
But these feather-stuffed beds do, and our party will sleep lavishly at least for one more night before the dawn finds us once more on the following day. It is, in fact, that morning that Rune does reappear, offering the payment that he promised for seeing him safely to Hearth's Hollow. He meets all of you at the table for breakfast with a heavy stack of coins that he puts upon the table, and he says, I know that I said I would pay you with a substantial amount of money, and I was told not to do that. So at least accept half the payment I promised. And when he opens up the bag, you do see that it is laden with gold coins.
Well, I cannot speak for my companions, but I will not take a single piece. Thank you, though, for the meals and the bed. For both of those I will treasure far more than a bag of gold. Thank you, Rune.
Sure. I didn't pay for any meals. Everything that this is everything I've gathered for you.
We were told that you were covering our meals and our rooms.
No. I would. I could.
Well, no. It is perfectly fine. It's just strange. Nezra told us that you. And yeah, Josephine just seems confused.
Yeah, and he looks to be just about as confused as you are, but he steps away from the table and gives another half bow. I need to get back to my family, but please, just take this at the very least. It was my life, after all. And even if you don't feel like you wish to take it, Miss Josephine, at least give it to someone else who might.
Your life is yours, Rune, and I'm sure my compatriots would be quite thankful for your payment. So, thank you all the same.
He will give you all a deep bow and express his gratitude once again for saving his life. And he parts.
Who has been paying for our food and rooms?
I'm going to the mayor, but
Hmm.
as to not indebt us to her, passed it off. I do have some need of some gold if we are unable to procure the items that I was looking for here. The gold to pay for it when we do find it is about all I need.
Well, I will leave that business up to the three of you. I need not a single coin, thank you.
We could also put it into a party fund to take care of the horses.
It is true. That might be a good idea.
That is where I would... not my horse would definitely need to be sustained, so...
Yes.
Feel free to put that money towards not my horse.
So if we have 500,
I could have added that to the group loot chest, so my bad.
Oh, you're
Okay.
good. Yeah, because I think we've been using that as our party stuff.
Party stash.
Yeah, stash as well.
Speaking of which, we've spent 2 days here. We'll pull the feed for the horses out and stuff.
That's right. Or was even that paid for? How far did this go?
That was also paid for, so you don't need to take.
Who is covering everything? Someone. There's a mystery afoot.
That would be a fun mystery to put on a D&D party. They show up to town, but literally everything is paid for, and there's no explanation.
Who's paying for us? Like, what is going on?
Like every merchant you go to, everything you buy,
Oh, no, it's been covered. Someone knew you were coming. What?
It's been covered.
That's enough. That's enough. I'm already just interested right now. Even if it's something mundane, I'm like, what's going on?
Laffy, are you sure you just didn't pay for everything and just forgot?
I don't have that much money. Wait, I
You
do have
don't
that
any-
much money, but we haven't done that much.
You don't. You don't anymore.
Well, this town has been more than courteous to us, more than hospitable. Honestly, it's hard to leave. I could easily find myself staying. But my mission in life must lead me elsewhere, unfortunately. I would like to come back here, though. I don't know about all of you.
It is a nice town. But I agree, we are on a quest, a mission. We cannot tally much for much longer.
Well, let us not forget Heart's Hollow on our way back. Perhaps we stop here again to rest.
That's a good idea.
A reprieve from the wastes is... well, it's good for our travels.
Indeed. As long as we don't, let it slip again that this is here. Is the main thing that we'd have to look out for.
No, I would never want to hurt this place in that way. It's special, really.
We've got so many hidden talents, like that glass maker.
It's true.
Yes, that's true. The class maker is an expert at his grasp.
I need to meet this glass maker of legend.
I wouldn't do it if I were you, Josephine. The fact that I learned that my equipment was in such shoddy repair was a great shame. Yours might be even worse.
I do not have any coin to pay him, but perhaps he will be willing to trade.
I tell him where he is. Well, go check.
Well, thank you. I will do that in the morning. Or perhaps it's covered by our mysterious benefactor, of which we do not know.
Well, it is indeed the morning, and whatever you all would like to see done before you depart for the day, feel free to do so now.
Clasps.
Clasps.
I go and ask if it's covered.
Yeah, it'll take a quick jaunt up to the fort. Carver will be beginning his day, and when you step in and inquire about clasps, he says, "Well, I do offer many services besides that, but yes, your friend did, in fact, wish to have his clasps replaced. They were, well, aged, to describe them most accurately. And if there's anything you wish for me to inspect or replace about your gear, feel free."
I would definitely be interested in this kind of service. I am not one who deals in currency, nor do I have any on me. Is there perhaps something for trade that you are interested in that I could assist? I am quite skilled in magic.
No trade for you, Miss Josephine. Anything that you wish to have done to help you is covered.
Huh. This mysterious benefactor again. I am curious who they are.
No benefactor, miss. My clan name is Barrelweiss, and my cousin is Hilda Barrelweiss. I heard what you did yesterday.
Well,
So, anything you need.
your services deserve to be paid for, my friend. But I am more than willing to let you help me, if you will, sir.
Gladly so. Here, give me your shield, and I assume you must have chain or some kind of
Yes.
armor. I can inspect it for wear.
I give him everything.
Yeah, he pours over your armor, your shield, your belts, your buckles, anything that you present him with. You do see that he replaces quite a few objects. In fact, he even points out that something that evades a lot of people's notice is their chainmail. And he points out in your garb in several places where mold and rust has begun to set in, and scrubs it all away and cleans it thoroughly. He says, well, normally the adventuring types like to run with magical armaments, and it's not really a concern for them, but this is mundane steel, so you do need to be aware that it needs to be cleaned and kept properly, otherwise it will fall apart in the middle of battle, or God forbids, a blow will sink right through it.
Thank you so much, Carver. The elven smiths of the Quellenesti would be what's the word when somebody when they're like, not when they say something like, how dare, and then what is the word I'm looking for? Shame. Shame. Yes, the smiths would be shaming me right now for the state of it, and I am thank you for pointing it out and helping me fix it.
Oh, it's merely a cost of the trade, I'm sure. It's something that any armorer would have been able to fix or replace. I'm not doing anything special, but...
Well, you're doing your clan proud, I will tell you that.
Much appreciated, Miss Josephine. And this final bit here, the clasp for the shield, these always wear down quickly, taking blows and whatnot. They're fine, but I'll give you some fresh ones just for kicks.
Well,
And he essentially cleans up and repairs your gear, and it's ready for the road, better than it was when you got here.
What is their clan name?
Barrelweiss.
Barrelweiss.
Barrel, W-E-I-S-E.
W-E-I-S-E. I will be sure to take my business to Barrelweiss before anyone else.
Well, if you find any of my other blood plying their trade and make it back here, you let me know where they are. I have not seen much of the old family.
I certainly
Couldn't
will.
even know where they would be.
They are diamonds to search out in the rough. And I will leave him and return to the others if we haven't been already traveling together.
Excellent.
I'm not getting my clasps replaced.
You're the only one, dude. Kyle's gonna get you, man. That would be like a clasp snaps.
You've stood out from the crowd.
Now I should get my clasp replaced, like everyone else. Peer pressure.
I feel peer pressure on my clasps. Clasp shame. Oh my god.
I do believe Alafi and maybe... Wait, no, it was Josephine who also wanted to go revisit Lavender's place.
Yes, I wanted to get my healer's kit, because I can only assume with everything we did, my healer's kit must have been expended, since there was a lot of just medicinal stuff. I'd want to just get it refreshed. And then you wanted to stress this old man out, so...
Oh, no,
I
I
would,
actually wanted to see what he had and
Oh,
possibly
okay.
buy something. But
I would go with you. This,
Yeah, let's go as a group and see how that handles. See if this is even open. Closed for the week.
Yeah, you show up at Lavender's, and you can see that he's in the middle of a chore. He has a large glass vase in his hand, and he's just happens to look out the window to see the three of you coming down, and you can hear the glass shatter through the doorway as you're making your way over. And when you open the door, you can almost hear the gentle clittering of glass shards and pieces being brushed aside by the door itself. He is back behind the shelf, a bead of sweat slowly rolling down his head as he has begun to hastily mash yet another handful of green plants into his mortal with his
He's just like, I'm an alchemist.
good morning. It's good to see all of you.
We're back.
Yes, I had heard you were soon to depart for the life of adventuring. I'm surprised to see you.
Yes, you're the last. You're the last stop on our list.
Oh, that's why I'm glad you thought to visit old Lavender before you hit the road.
Josephine needs some more herbs and stuff for her healing kit.
Oh, yes. Good. I imagine you need some things replaced after all of your work yesterday, Miss Josephine.
Yes,
Word has already
Lavender,
spread.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. You will leave the room, stepping into a back room, and you will hear him clinking and clattering away as he fetches replacements for the healing poultices and herbs that you would need in your kit.
I'm resisting the urge to stick my head into the back and be like, do you need help carrying anything?
Oh no!
I'm stronger than I look.
No, you hear him call out from around the corner. And I have everything well handled. Thank you. And after a few moments, he returns with a gathering of parcels in his arms that he lays out upon the counter. Now, I'm sure you are already familiar with this treatment, but you don't need to offer me anything for this. It is all on Lavender.
Well,
But this is everything you should need for 2 healing kits, I believe.
2. I believe I just gave you 1.
Yes, but I do think that 2 is in order.
Well, I thank you for your generosity, Lavender. You are you're hard to say no to. I'll say that much.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I hope that if you ever find yourself in Heart's Hollow again, you don't be afraid to call on old Lavender if you need anything, such as alchemical or herbalist needs or trades.
There is something we wanted to ask of you, Lavender.
No.
I believe that Laffy had a question for you.
Oh. Yes, Mr. Laffy, was there anything you needed, such as more tea leaves?
I feel bad.
I have an excellent chai mix. Should you need it?
Like you didn't know, I'm a terrible member of my order.
Oh, and what order would that be? A centaur order, perhaps?
Yes, a centaur order.
I know so little of the centaurs. What order would that be?
The hoofed kind. Anyways, I was interested in Well, we should just drop this raid. I just was interested in what other interesting things you carry.
Such as my exotic collection of herbs and spices.
Well, more of the keeping me from dying. I'm not gonna try and kill you. You're fine.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, you found my red bubble where I knit amigurumi. That's what you mean.
Okay, I have a 0. Let's see how this goes.
Can I? Oh, wait, I don't even know if I'm good at this.
No one is good at this in our party.
Oh,
We're terrible.
no.
Oh, wait, no, wait.
Persuasion? No, that's me.
Yeah, Frixus. He's our warlock.
Yeah, you have charisma.
Yeah, but didn't he roll like a 3 and a 7 though?
Not persuasion. It was.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, well, you can roll that with advantage if you
Guidance?
have Frixus here.
Oh, you can't
Okay.
guidance. So.
Look, we already know. We're just.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Can I roll?
The rolls already there.
If you do a different check, perhaps intimidation.
Oh, no. No.
I don't. That won't help.
No.
Well, the 6 and the 1 and the...
I mean, I think that's just a laughy messing up saying, I'm not gonna kill you. Oh my god.
That's about on par for Laffy, though, I think.
You're just having a conversation with somebody and they're like, so I'm not gonna kill you. Oh, that was on the table. Okay, man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The mint was not to your liking.
Oh, no, the mint was delicious. I think. Pull out some of the mint and taste some. Yes, the mint is delicious.
At least we all can agree that the mint is
Okay.
delicious.
I'm just gonna walk out of here and slowly backing up with my hands out. Like,
Thank you again, Lavender.
step on some glass by the accident and the way out. Because there's glass all over the floor. You should probably clean that up.
Clean that, or is it? No, it's just one item. You need mending for that, or even that would be a lot. Because shattered glass, you'd have to mend each individual piece together.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Whew.
Where
I try and find the mayor on our way back up the spiral and be like, there may have been a misunderstanding.
Explain.
Yeah, she would be easy enough to find at the Salt Lick. To which she would say, "What a misunderstanding would that be?"
we're provisional members of the tower.
I'm a provisional member of the tower and of the type that scares people, but I don't care.
Oh, I do see. Yes.
You guys are well out of jurisdiction.
Well, that indeed would be why he's here. You know what? How about we visit Lavender one more time? I'll be there with you.
I feel as though we're going to give this old man a heart attack.
You can just tell him. It'll be fine.
Yes, I will. Come. There were things you needed from him, yes?
I at least want to look at the stuff he was trying to hide everywhere.
Well, I can assure you that anything he did was out of a sense of self-preservation and not
Indeed.
anything else.
Also not incredibly tactful, and I acknowledge that.
Well, I think things will go a little bit differently if I'm there. So how about we make our way back and we'll make sure that you have what you need.
Yes, let's resolve things with Lavender, shall we?
All right, so our party makes their way back to Lavender's, and as you make your way down the walk, you can see he's just nervously peering through the glass as if waiting for all of you to round the corner once again. When he sees all of you accompanied with Nezra, you can almost read his lips as he mumbles, "Oh, sweet God, no."
This is it. They're gonna wheel me away.
It's finally my time. When you step back into Lavender's, the chime above the door ringing, you hear his voice address all of you entering before anyone can speak. Desra, what brings you to my shop accompanied by these wonderful people? Are you also here for mint? No, Lavender, and I am going to save you some stress. They are well aware that you are a practicing mage. Yes, one of our friends here is part of that silly wizarding order that doesn't particularly care for that, but she doesn't care for that either. So, you can relax. You were never in any danger. I would never have sent anyone to you who would be endangering you in any way. You're right, Nezra. I'm sorry. They're just so intimidating.
I'm literally only a member of this order because I have to be.
I know, right?
Yes.
They've got a stranglehold on practicing magic. It doesn't seem... anyways, yes. I'm sorry to all of you for my behavior.
I kind of chose to be in the order. Sorry.
Anyways, I did gather some of the things you mentioned, Mr. Frixis, in case I had the willpower to confront you about it. I do, in fact, have at least the undead eyeballs that you were looking for. And he pulls out and
Frixis does like a embarrassing glance from Josephine.
Undead eyeball. Wow, interesting.
It's really common component in the order. It's a part of a ritual to help cleanse you of the undead.
No, that's not what I'm using it for.
Interesting.
But I do have a healthy collection of bits and bobs from my travels, as well as trading with other people who have come by Heart's Hollow. Anything you might need, I probably have.
Josephine will look to the ceiling as she says, "My friends who have recently come into some new money, I would say would be wise to acquire a 300 gold diamond, for no reason in particular."
That's something that he has. Then I definitely see that as being...
That seems like a valid...
Yeah.
If they value their lives.
See, and you're scared of me.
But yes, you, as long as you can afford it, he can sell it to you.
If we get a 300, we get a diamond in the party, that means we can cast Revivify.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Cool. Yeah, so I would say that, and then my thing's 150, so that's 450 out of our 500 group stuff.
I think that's fair. Revivify's for us all.
Oh yeah, it's fine that for your components. I don't think I have any components I need at the moment.
I think that's the only one I need.
Yeah,
for a spell.
It is not a consumed one, so I only need the one.
Now, I am going to reiterate that if you do need any magical components or anything, he will have you covered so long as you can afford them at their full price. That being said, I forgot to offer a break for restrooms or drinks if anybody needs them.
I'm doing that.
I'm going to take that now, because I do need to use the bathroom. So, I will be back.
Alright, we're back.
Alright, we back.
Discussing things we want to grab. So we're getting the eyeball, we're getting the diamond, and we're debating warding bond. What do you guys think? We want it, or we good? Because I can switch it out, like I said. It is 100 G.
That would be really awesome to have in case Frixis starts getting hit really bad. Like
It's true for it's good for somebody. It is decent, and it doesn't expend those 50 gold rings, so they stay, which you and the target must wear for the duration. Yeah, so it's touch. It'd be me putting the ring on your finger. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, if you guys have extra gold in the party.
Yeah, I can donate some of that too. So we've got 50, and then me and Frixus can donate 25, and I'll cover it.
Yeah, that works.
That'll work.
I will put the rings in Josephine's thing so we know we have it, and the diamond, because I have Revivify, right? Do you have Revivify?
I think both of us can cast Revivify.
Okay, cool. I have it prepared right now, so
I don't have it prepared because you do.
I will
But-
just hold it in her inventory. If it makes it easier than putting it in the party pack. And then if we switch out spells, we may trade that diamond. Since we are both dealing with basically a very similar spell list.
Oh, I forgot Aura of Vitality is an option for me.
Gonna add the diamond, and then gonna add the ring. It's the metal ring.
I've deducted the 25 from mine.
Yeah, there's nothing useful for mine
It's just gonna
for
put
me to get.
2 signet
Now we don't have to worry
rings.
about the 500
Perfect.
through the undead eyeball encased in a gemstone worth at least 150 gold in my inventory.
You said we all reduced 25 gold?
No,
No,
just
just
the
me and
they
Fixes.
did. Yeah, that was to get the
Oh.
ring so warding bond can be cast now. Which will be, yeah, it's a decent spell for. Because I have some turns on her where it's like you guys are all healed up and they're kind of dead turns, and all I can do is like do buffs, and that's a decent buff. Because she has almost no weapon. It's all just like, I think I have a cantrip. I don't do damage with this character. All utility all day, baby.
Yeah, it's the good life.
It is cool to see some of these spells.
Oh, I forgot I got that.
No,
have
I did forget to mention, I would like to end the session a little bit earlier today, so our cutoff time is going to be 10 o'clock.
Well, let's
Oh,
see if we
good.
can set ourselves
You know,
up.
just do a
then.
quick wrap up and
Yeah. We can finish up our dealings this morning with Hearts Hollow and end the session as our party hits the road, I think.
That works for me. Do you want us to give you like a direction too, just for prep reasons?
I mean, that would be nice.
That is nice. I know.
the
I
plan
know
was
it's nice.
this direction,
I don't
like
have that
here
map
and then
open.
there.
Were
Here.
we going to the camp first? Or
Yeah. What did
just
we
going
want
straight
to
to
do
Dalamar?
first?
Because the camp is on the way to Delmar.
correct?
Yeah, because we could try to hit everything in like a line. Northern.
Go camp and then go camp
Yep.
to there.
And then
head back.
pinball back up to the other thing.
Okay. So you guys.
Oh.
You guys were thinking we head to the camp, then to Dalamar, then to this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Because those are for sure things.
Josephine,
The other one could just be a valley of nothing.
Josephine is super for that because the helping people first, so she has no protest with that pathing.
Sounds good.
So camp first, then Dalamar, then a fallen tower.
Oh, though we should ask the mayor if any of their scouts have seen any of the.
The portals. That is something we would do before we leave.
Right. You gotta
Mhm.
ask. What else do I
Get a
have
new
on-
locale on the map, maybe.
Now, she isn't familiar with them. However, she does suggest that you talk to Klistrin, because he is one of the better scouts in Hearts Hollow. And
That's who.
if
we'll-
anyone has seen one, it would probably be Klistrin.
He kind of owes us right now.
we did get him off of a thing.
Before I leave you, I did want to also leave this, and he'll hand over folded kind of folio of notes that he had copied that are all information on the Red Dragon army. This is everything that we know, having fought them many times, about their tactics, their units, and how they inspire each other and such. So if you ever run into an issue with them, you'll at least have the advantage of knowledge.
Good idea.
Oh. Thank you, Phrixus. This will be more than useful. I hope we never have to make use of it, but...
I also agree.
But yes, thank you.
Well, we find Klistron.
Yes.
He should definitely make his own toothpaste brand, I'm just saying. Or mouthwash, one of the two.
Yeah, and Ness directs you to where you can find Klistron, and it being the morning, you would find him near the exit of town preparing to go out scavenging.
Perfect.
He'll wave at all of you as you approach, and as he's tightening a very finely made clasp on his belt, he will look to all of you and say, "So, I imagine you are heading out on your own adventure, yeah?"
That is the plan.
Indeed. We hope to find some more people like the one that you were with earlier. When we found... Or wait, no. This is not Roan.
That's not Roan.
My
no.
bad.
Oh, that's Rune, yeah.
Yep. Yes.
We're hoping to find those who've gone missing from the Hollow, and perhaps some others that we are looking for.
Oh, you're heading to that camp then.
That's the plan.
Flappy is also mildly sulking this whole time because she keeps intimidating people.
Are you just upset because you don't have any clasps?
Yes, we are the Clasp Club right now, aren't we?
The finest made clasps in all the Hollow. But that being said, I am convinced that if anyone is being taken anywhere, it's to that camp.
We will thoroughly investigate, and if there are people there from the Hollow, we will see them returned.
Thank you.
We did have a question for you.
Took the words out of my mouth. Perfect.
Early on in our adventures, we did come across a large archway that is some kind of portal. Now, we could potentially use this for quicker travel back towards people that we left, and we were wondering if you had seen any in your scout around this area.
Well, I don't really go too far away from the Hollow. Nezra should
Indeed.
really just
Have to be
does
careful.
not like it if we venture too far. But I do think I've spied a few things that might be what you're looking for. I never got too close to them because they were a ways off and I was high up. But if you have a map, probably guesstimate where that was. All right,
So
he will.
pull out the map that he has.
Yeah, he will say that he saw something old and archway-ish here, but he also thought he saw something here. Both of these seem to match that description.
Interesting.
Perfect
Alright,
opportunity
new
to
plan.
hit on the way back.
Probably going here
Oh,
and then
to
to
the
the camp.
yes. To the camp, and then to here, and then there, and then we'll hit this one on the way back. If this isn't good.
Because if that is an arch and we can activate it, we should probably go there, get within range of the boats,
Right.
and go, come to this arch.
Yeah.
We've got a perfect circle. Here, 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 here. Back to Hearts Hollow for a nice nap, and then onward.
back to Artello for a pint. We'll wait for it to all blow over.
Yes, a pint. We'll wait for it all to blow. I like it. Thank you, sir.
I'm happy to help. I do owe you a bit for saving me and all. And, well, hopefully you do find some of our missing people.
Well, Christian will have you and your people to thank for letting us know that they're there in the first place, so I just hope we are successful.
And I will, I'll say a prayer to Mishiga for you?
Mishakul, the mother.
Mishakul. Right.
And I'm sure she'd love to hear from you.
Well, we'll see about that. He laughs sheepishly. But do be safe out there.
And you as well.
He will shoulder his pack and make his descent down from the high hunt. And our party will follow shortly after him. That is where we will stop our session for tonight as we descend from this wonderful plateau of heartwarming people back into the dusty desert that is the northern wastes.
I don't want to leave.
Off.
I love it too much.
It is a ridiculously charming little town. I enjoyed reading up on it quite a bit.
Lavender is very much.
I never did
interesting
figure out
character.
what was in the pit.
No, I have to come back from that. No, Lavender, my mouth was hurting. I was fucking laughing so much.
I started feeling bad at one point.
I know, I was like, it was just so fucking, it's so funny. Oh, that was good. Good session.
A wonderful session, everyone. It's good to be back.
Thank you.
And I look forward to playing next weekend with all of you, or not next weekend, but next Monday with all of you, as we probe around Camp Carrion Clay and figure out what the hell's going on there.
Don't worry. Mondays are weekend adjacent.
Close enough.
Close enough, but sadly all too far away from the next weekend. But it has been wonderful. Thank you all for listening, and I look forward to seeing you all in our next session of Dragonlance. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.